The news continues in South Africa, where the African Growth and Opportunity Act has been a cornerstone for African economies, particularly benefiting countries like South Africa by providing duty-free access to U.S. markets. However, the looming threat of a cutoff from AGOA raises significant concerns for the agricultural sector in the country. These developments could severely impact local farmers, disrupt trade relationships, and ultimately threaten food security. And now we explore the potential ramifications of losing AGOA benefits on South Africa's agricultural landscape and the broader economy by talking to our guest, Bernard Manganyi. And Bernard is an agricultural economist at the South Africa's National Agricultural Marketing Council. Thank you so much, Bernard, for joining us on the news. Bernard, if you can hear me, can you please say something?
Okay, thank you so much for having me today, and good morning to your viewers.
All right. So what would be the immediate effects on South Africa's agricultural exports to the U.S. if the country were to be cut off from AGOA?
Yes, it's very critical to note that AGOA is not a trade agreement. However, it is a unilateral preference program established by U.S. law. So there are certain uncertainties around this, as this initiative is due to expire in September. But losing AGOA would mean that South African export would face most favored nation tariffs, which will mean that the current privilege of competitive edge and will increase the cost in the U.S. market. This will make South African products more expensive than from competitors who still benefit from this initiative, particularly countries such as Kenya and Ghana and other African countries. However, when we look at the economic-wide impact in terms of the AGOA implication of South Africa exiting AGOA, we used the global trade analysis project model to see what will be the immediate impact. We shocked the policy with the imposition of tariff on the agricultural products, and we've seen that the policy shock response shows that there will be a welfare loss of about 20.8 million. However, even on the U.S. side, we also see some decrease in the welfare of about 10.8 million US dollars in welfare imports due to higher import costs. And then when we look at slightly on the what will happen in a longer term, we'll see that the key subsectors in agriculture, such as fruit, vegetables, and nuts, are projected to decline by 1.6%, which might not be significant if we use a top-bottom approach. But when we look at other factors such as employment, you realize agriculture absorb a very high unskilled and skilled labor. We saw that there will be a decline in terms of unskilled and skilled labor by about 1.3%. But if we give a perspective in terms of the overall, in terms of top-bottom approach, we'll see that the impact will be very minimum, which means that it will not cause economy to fall.
Let's track back a bit, Bernard, and understand why the U.S. will not visit the provision of that particular act, review it, and grant access to South Africa's agri-produce. Why?
Pardon?
Bernard, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Maybe
I said I would like us to understand why the U.S. might not want to review the AGOA, the acts, and grant access to South Africa's agri-produce.
Yes, there's that possibility, but when we look at it, I think the risk is overweight, which we need to not to overweight it. I think the risk in terms of exiting AGOA is overweight here. And if you look in the past, there were instances where South Africa was in a situation whereby they had to mend this relationship in terms of the imports of poultry products in the country, but they managed to solve that problem in terms of the economical policies and diplomacy that are currently existing, and we don't see much of that happening again. So I think in this regard, U.S. will consider the position of South Africa in terms of geopolitical position, but I don't think U.S. will literally consider excluding South Africa from this arrangement.
Thank you so much, Bernard Manganyi, for sharing these thoughts with us. Appreciate that.